What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my main event breakdown and prediction for UFC Sao Paulo. We have Jailton Almeida taking on Derrick Lewis.
I need all the wins, yeah. All that and all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back for another main event breakdown and prediction. This week, we are breaking down the main event for UFC Sao Paulo. We have Derrick Lewis stepping in on short notice. I think, Curtis Blaydes pulled out with an injury, and in steps Derrick Lewis, which I'm actually really looking forward to. I did want to see the Curtis Blaydes fight. I thought that would have been a fun fight, but, I mean, if we can get Derrick Lewis in here for a main event, I think that's fine as well. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing Jailton Almeida. A guy that's kind of a rising star, a guy that keeps going out there, making quick work out of a lot of these opponents. If he does that to Derrick Lewis, I mean, it's going to be a great win there. So looking forward to this fight, looking forward to being back, looking forward to this card in general. This UFC Sao Paulo card looks to be a very fun card on paper, so definitely looking forward to breaking it all down. Before we get into it, if you guys can please do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, be on the lookout for the full card breakdown and prediction video that will be posted on Monday. I have all 13 fights taped, ready to go. Just have to hit record there, so that should be out there on Monday. But we are here to talk the main event for UFC Sao Paulo. 5-round fight between Jailton Almeida and Derrick Lewis. We will start with Jailton Almeida, who is 32 years old, 6'3", with a 79-inch reach, 19-2, and 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Derrick Lewis, he is 38 years old, 6'3", with a 79-inch reach, 27-11, and 2-3 in his last 5 fights. We'll take a look at the odds. We see that Jailton Almeida opened up minus 700. He's currently sitting at minus 450. And Derrick Lewis opened up plus 525. He's currently sitting at plus 350. So pretty big favorite here in Jailton Almeida. And yeah, Jailton Almeida is very, very interesting to me in terms of what his career. So he made his Contender Series fight, right, was at light heavyweight. He weighed in at 203 pounds, 2 pounds below the limit, right? So he's fighting at light heavyweight, and then he makes his debut against Danilo Marquez at light heavyweight. And then he goes in there against Parker Porter at heavyweight, which was very confusing. He went out there and made really quick work of Parker Porter, which was a great win. And then he went out there against Anton Turkalj at a catch weight of 220 pounds, and he weighed in at 216. And then he went out there and faced Shamil Abdurakhimov, got a win there, and then he went out there and beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and he weighed in 231 pounds for that fight. So it looks to me like he's starting to put on some mass here, put on some weight, and it looks like he is going to be staying in the heavyweight division, which, quite frankly, I don't blame him one bit whatsoever. This is a guy that's very quickly moving up the rankings at heavyweight. He was supposed to fight Curtis Blaydes, like I mentioned. If he would have beat Curtis Blaydes, that would have put him in about the top 5. If he goes out there and beats Derrick Lewis, that's going to put him right up there with some of the top guys in the heavyweight division. And really, nobody's had any answer whatsoever for Jailton Almeida to this point. He's going out there, he's battling really no adversity whatsoever. It's just been nonstop domination. Nobody's been able to do anything about it. He went out there, destroyed Danilo Marquez, destroyed Parker Porter, destroyed Anton Turkalj. I guess Shamil Abdurakhimov posed the most resistance, I guess. And even then, Shamil only landed 1 strike. I mean, it's ridiculous. Jailton Almeida's absorbed 1 strike thus far in his 5 UFC fights. 1 significant strike. Actually 2. Shamil landed 1, and the Pleasure Man landed 1 as well. So he's absorbed 2 strikes in 5 fights. I mean, it makes no sense. And now he's taking on Derrick Lewis. And quite frankly, I don't like this career move for Derrick Lewis. I mean, this is a guy in Derrick Lewis who, before his last win, was 1-4 in his last 5 fights. He needed a big win against Marcos Rogério de Lima. He got it. He got the win, which is great. But, I mean, this is a tough matchup to take in general. And then on top of that, he's taking it in short notice. I mean, this is a very, very tough fight for Derrick Lewis. I do think he is going to be getting paid, though, so he's going to get money. But, I mean, this is a tough matchup. Jailton Almeida is a really good wrestler, even at heavyweight. This guy's a very good grappler. And what's funny to me about Jailton Almeida is I went back and watched his Contender Series fight, and he's talking about how he's a very good boxer, and he wants to show off his hands, and he's not shown any of that at all. I mean, you'll notice in every single Jailton Almeida fight, he goes for a takedown within like the first 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds, and he typically gets it, and I don't really see why that's going to change here against Derrick Lewis, who throughout his career has a 52% takedown defense. So Derrick Lewis is a guy that when he gets taken down, more often than not, he's okay. He's okay there. It all depends on the opponent, though. Like, Blagoy Ivanov took him down 3 times. Blagoy Ivanov's not really dangerous. Who else took him down? Earlier, Latifi took him down 3 times. Latifi's not really dangerous, right? So he can afford to get, taken down, controlled. And what Derrick Lewis will do a lot of times is just explode up, right? No technique whatsoever. Just, he gets up. He gets up. But doing that against somebody in Jailton Almeida, I'm not so sure. Even against like a guy in Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak went out there, took down Derrick Lewis 6 times. And Derrick Lewis got up, 5 times, but still, he got taken down 6 times. And what I noticed about Derrick Lewis, he just lets guys get into dominant positions. He lets you get into mount. He lets you get into side control. And it just doesn't seem like the best recipe for success against a guy like Jailton Almeida, who has a very good submission game. And on top of that, he has very good ground and pound as well. If Jailton Almeida gets on top of Derrick Lewis and gets into mount, he's going to make Derrick Lewis pay, and he's going to either TKO him or make him tap. So for Derrick Lewis to win this fight, quite honestly, I think he's going to have to knock out Almeida within like the first 15 seconds, because once he does get taken down, I don't really like his chances, because Almeida's control's very good, and if he is able to get into dominant positions, which he should be able to very easily, he should be able to slice through Derrick Lewis's guard like butter. It should be easy. At that point, I think Almeida can just kind of run through Derrick Lewis here. But it's a easy matchup in a sense, but it's also it's a dangerous match. Derrick Lewis is one of the hardest hitters, if not the hardest hitter currently in the heavyweight division. He has a ton of knockouts, and if Jailton Almeida does not mind his P's and Q's on the feet, he can get knocked out. But the thing about Jailton Almeida, he doesn't give people opportunities to do that. Like I said, he's absorbed 2 significant strikes in his entire career in the UFC. So, yeah, I'm going to take Almeida here. I think it's early as well. I think he takes down Derrick Lewis, styles on him, and probably subs him. TKO, sub, whatever he wants, really. But, he's going to have to really be careful shooting in for takedowns. Derrick Lewis can land a big knee. He can land an uppercut, like we saw against Curtis Blades. He can land something coming in. So as long as Almeida can avoid that, get the fight down to the mat, it's his world. And I don't think Derrick Lewis is going to do much about it there. So give me Almeida to win this fight by first round submission. And back to the odds for this fight. We don't have the full props out yet for this fight, but Almeida's a really big favorite. I know it's always very hard to count out Derrick Lewis, and I definitely learned my lesson laying this much chalk against Derrick Lewis. I was very confident in Curtis Blades a couple years ago. That obviously did not work out. But, Almeida should go out there and win this fight pretty convincingly. So the over-under is set at 1.5 rounds, rightfully so. And I think this is probably like one of the most chalkiest unders I've ever seen. The under 1.5 opened at minus 350. Minus 350 for an under 1.5. I think the bookies are definitely all over it. I think this fight is not going 7.5 minutes. I'd be very shocked if this fight went 7.5 minutes. I think all of Almeida's wins but one have come under 1.5 rounds. And that one fight that did go over 1.5 was against Shamil Abdurakhimov. But yeah, I don't see Derrick Lewis surviving here. And like I said, if Derrick Lewis does win, it's probably within the first 30 seconds. So I think the under 1.5 potential parlay piece, the fight won't start round 2. Potential parlay piece. I'm sure Almeida in round 1 is going to be like minus 200. So probably not a lot of ways to really make money on this fight. I'm sure they're going to make you pick between like the sub or the knockout for Almeida. I would personally lean sub, but he could TKO Lewis as well. So I don't really see many betting opportunities for this fight, but I am pretty confident in Jailton Almeida. If you like Derrick Lewis, obviously you take the knockout, and then you probably take even the first round knockout as well. I'm not sure what that's going to be at, but that's I think how Derrick Lewis wins this fight, especially considering he's coming in here on short notice as well, and it is a very, very tough matchup. But it's a heavyweight, anything can happen, and it is Derrick Lewis. But I got to go Almeida here. Almeida by first round submission. There you have it. There is the breakdown and prediction main event for UFC Sao Paulo. Very glad to be back. We have a very eventful November. We have Sao Paulo, which is a great card. We have UFC 295, although we lost the Jones Stipe fight. We're getting the Pavlovich Aspinall fight, which I think is kind of a step up there. So loving the 295 card, loving this card. And looking forward to a good November. So best of luck, guys. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel on your way out. Let me know if you guys like anything in this fight in terms of a prop, money line, anything like that. And best of luck for UFC Sao Paulo. See you later.